Hello, it's Karen Burniston here with an instructional video for our Border Blends die sets, and you can check out all of our die designs at karenburniston.com. There are 3 individual dies in each set, and I'll start first with the Argyle Border Blends. Now each one of the dies cuts its own border. So you have one that cuts a skinny wavy border, then you have a Harlequin diamonds border, and then you have another one that cuts a series of connected X's. So if you pop all of the diamonds out, then you have that X border. Each of the borders measures 5.5 inches long, and you can use those independently, but you can also combine them. So for instance, you can put the X's over the top of the Harlequin diamonds, and now you have an Argyle. But then you have this other cool feature, which is that you get to blend these together for new borders. So what I mean by that is every side of the die has a notch and a tab, and those are spaced in size to be able to match up with another one of the Border Blends dies. And when you align those tabs and notches and cut them at the same time, you will now get a new border created by the 2 negative spaces. So can you see in there that that's going to create a heart-shaped border? And if I were to put these 2 together and line up the notches and the tabs, I would end up with a cool zigzag border that has press dots in it. The notches and tabs are for alignment only, okay? So they're not going to hold the dies to each other. So if you're not using a magnetic platform, I recommend a removable tape to hold the dies together so that they don't slide as you're die cutting. But just align those notches and tabs with whichever way you want to blend them. Maybe you're just looking for one border, or maybe you're looking for several. So in this case, I will just blend all 3 dies together. And then when I cut this, I will get not only my 3 positive space borders, but also my 2 negative space borders. Our dies work in any die cutting machine that can accommodate a wafer-thin die, and today I am using a Sizzix Big Shot. Okay, so this time I blended them together and cut them all at once. I still get my positive space borders, so I still get my skinny waves, I still get my Harlequin diamonds, I still get my X's. But now in between the dies, a new border has been created. And so I only have to just pop them out of there. It cuts almost all the way through. It's probably only where they're joined that you may have to pop them. But you can see here I've created a new zigzag border that has press dots, and this one is solid hearts. And if I move those dies and flip them around and make new combinations, I get new borders. So with each set of 3, there are 12 blends that can be made by flipping the dies around and doing different mixing and matching. For example, in this Argyle set, there are 4 different hearts that can be made. Short hearts with press dots, short hearts without press dots, large hearts with press dots, large hearts without press dots. So it's all just a matter of how you combine them. And it's also just really easy to see what you're creating by just looking at the cut side of the die and seeing how they line up. The packaging will also give a good idea of some of the borders you can make, but it does not show all of them. Okay, let's switch and look at the Border Blends Party set, which works the same way. Again, you have 3 dies in the set. The first die cuts this skinny border, and then the second die cuts the ring garland, and then at the same time it actually cuts a piece with a straight edge. Now you can use that as a standalone border as well. And then on the ring garland itself, if you pop out all of the little circles, you can either discard those or even save them to use for another border idea or even just as confetti on a card. And then the third die in the set actually cuts 3 positive space borders. Okay, and first let me separate them into individual borders. The 2 scalloped garlands have the same design but offset by half a scallop. So you can keep putting those one on top of the other to make a really cool design, or you can even weave them together. And then there is a third border that is die cut at the same time from in between those other 2. And this one I like to refer to as the twig border. I think it would make a great twig or branch if you were to cut it out of brown cardstock and use it on a nature-themed card. But it can also be just a cool little squiggle line border by either just cutting off the spikes, or if you wanted to, you could even add the little circles from the ring garland out on the end of all those little spikes. Okay, so let's talk about the party blends. One of my favorites is to use this die that has the straight line edge along with this one that has the scalloped edges. And you can either put them together this way so that it starts with a half scallop, or you could flip it around and do it this way and then it starts with a full scallop. Okay, and then I think I'll also blend this interesting edge up here. Now on my small die, it's actually the same edge on both sides of that border. However, one side has press dots and the other side does not. So you still get a variation. So even if the positive space border is the same on both sides, there's something different in the negative space to give you more variation. And it really is fun just to flip the dies around and try different combinations and see what you can create. If you have both sets, you can even blend between them. So now you've got even more combinations. So just great all-purpose borders to be able to use on any type of project, including, of course, pop-up cards. You can see the party set here layered inside this ice cream sundae pop-up. You know, with pop-up cards, sometimes you just need that little something up at the top and the bottom, and so the borders are perfect for that. And then let's just look at a few cards made by our talented design team. Here's a cute use of the ring garland from the party set on this ice cream sundae card by Fran Sabad. And Frances Byrne also used the party border blends on this beautiful heart pivot panels card. Sandy Diller using the Argyle set at the top and bottom of this ice cream sundae pop-up card. And then the Argyle set used again to make the heart borders for this Love You card. Another ice cream sundae pop-up card, this one by Frances Byrne using the Argyle set. And then more heart borders created using the Argyle border blends. The border blends die sets will be available on our website as well as a lot of your favorite online and retail stores starting the end of January 2019. Thanks for watching. If you click on the website link, you'll go to KarenBurniston.com where you can find out information about purchasing these dies as well as links to all my other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.